This week on Street Food, we set out on a daddy-daughter adventure. We talk about chili, there's a recipe, there's noodles. This is a real humdinger of an ep, okay? Brace yourselves. Street food. I'm about to get super real with you guys, alright? I'm acting like this is a big deal. I usually keep it real on this show, as this is my actual life, but still, let me just tell it like this. Daughters are the best. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for agreeing to do this.
Yeah.
My eldest daughter and I took a 10-year-old milestone trip, daddy-daughter adventure styles, to Washington, D.C. We happened to be in the USA when she turned 10. We got a cheap flight, a cheap inn, did a bunch of free stuff. Milestones can be affordable, I'm saying. You know, when I was 10 years old, I actually took a trip to Washington, D.C. with my dad, and I still remember it. Parts of it. It's fuzzy. I remember the animals, and my feet hurt, but look, it happened. Do you remember where we stayed?
Yes, it was on P Street.
I don't remember that.
Mostly we used like subways and buses. We walked a lot.
Quite a bit of walking, especially around all the museums and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that one time we had to walk.
We got off the bus too early or something.
Yeah, we seem to do that a lot.
The first day we were walking and we got caught in the rain. Joe and Dad's DC adventure. We are stuck in the rain right now. No spot that sells umbrellas.
It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It was mostly fun. We had to go to the nearest museum, which was not the one we were planning on going to, but it was still pretty cool. It was like an artist who wanted to recreate like her home
out of fabric
and wire. There was a guy farting out a home. There was like a home in a tornado.
I remember the guy farting out the home.
Yeah, we took a picture of that one forever. And there was another one where they put like letters and numbers like askew on a wall, but then when you reflected it as a shadow, it looked like a face.
Do you remember the Native American History Museum?
Oh yeah, that one. They had the kids stuff and you could stamp your passport.
It was almost too little kiddie for Journey, but it was at least like something interactive to do.
Yeah.
We tried some churros.
Yeah, they were too sweet.
Yeah, she went into them. We were on the subway and Journey was like, Dad, what's that obelisk? And I said, what's an obelisk? And then
it's like an Egyptian.
You were exactly right.
When it was raining, the Washington Monument had like a crack.
It was really pretty with the rain on it and the clouds.
Yeah, and we put our feet in the reflecting pool.
Yes. And then it started
And then
raining.
a duck.
It's starting to rain.
Uh-oh, ponchos.
Good thing we brought ponchos right here on Joe and Dad's DC Adventure. And what about like the dinosaur bones and all that?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Was that the one with the butterfly pavilion?
Yeah, do you remember the butterfly garden?
The butterflies loved you. Like one landed on your head and one landed on your shoulder, and I got a Floridian butterfly on my finger. Oh, and I liked our last breakfast. Yeah, I got a cake pop and a hash brown. He got a job.
Cake pops for breakfast. That's how we roll on our daddy-daughter adventures. Remember I made you a cheese sandwich in front of Trader Joe's?
Oh, yes. We just bought like a baguette and some mozzarella. He opened the bread and he made me a sandwich like on the street.
Eating it on the street. That's how we did it.
Yeah, we actually did it. And it was delicious.
Sometimes I bite off more than I can chew in an adventure, as street foodies well know. Journey was much more like, hey, why don't we just stay home and watch Star Wars? And I was like, sure. So we did a lot of chilling and a lot of going out. It was much more balanced, I found, adventuring with you. More from my interview with Journey later. Let's talk about food, okay? When it comes to food, DC's got all the hits. But what I want to talk about today is chili. Chili is one of the first things I learned to cook when I was a kid, and I learned it by watching this show called Dinner and a Movie. Is that show still around? I have no idea. Here's the premise. You would watch a movie with the hosts of the show. Usually it's like an older movie, and then right before the commercial break, they would cut to like them making a recipe. It was like a cooking show embedded within a movie. Cowboy Roundup chili. It had Roundup in it somehow. Maybe, was it Roundup? Look, I don't remember the name of it. I just remember cooking and movies came together, and I was like, a light came on. Clearly this memory is also fuzzy, all right? Aging, y'all. This is Ben's famous chili bowl, the Washington, D.C. landmark. Famous people have been there. It's important for a lot of historical reasons. While we were in the restaurant, a whole reunion of some kind or other showed up. It was like 60 plus people The place was bumping. And surprise guest, my little sister and my brother-in-law met up with us. They were living in DC at the time. Joe had a milkshake and some fries. I got the chili. This is not the kind of chili you write home about, you know, special fixins and all that. You got onions, you got cheese, you got crackers. It was a meat chili, very hearty, very good, but you come here for the history. The other stuff was pretty good too.
I got a chili rice bowl with tomatoes, cheese, onions, and sour cream.
A chili burger. Excellent. Hold the mayo.
How was it?
Delicious.
Okay. Chili. You can have chili that's super premium meat. You can have cheap ground meat. You can have no meat. Rock that bean chili. Get your cornbread on and crank up the crock pot. I got a bomb cornbread recipe too. I'll hook y'all up sometime. My cornbread is legit. I've made chili for Chinese friends a few times and they have not always loved it. I'm not taking that personally. My chili is dope. It's just not a flavor that a lot of people are used to around here, is what I'm choosing to believe. So what is the Chinese equivalent of chili? I'll tell you what it is. ZhaJiangMian. This is a type of noodles, actually, that you can order in almost any noodle shop in Shanxi. But since we're talking recipes, let's check in with my friend YaHong about how to make ZhaJiangMian.
上一次的酱有一点辣，所以我因为孩子晚上吃，
是。
所以今天我买的这个酱是不辣。
It's a bonus recipe.
这个是对炸酱面需要放的酱，它是黄豆酱，里面的菜是随便的菜，是你喜欢的都可以。
好。
所以我买的是豆腐干，还有红萝卜，所以要有馅儿的猪肉馅儿。这个是半斤，这个是半斤，需要有大葱，生姜。
If you translate ZhaJiangMian, it basically means sauce noodles. It's not a very creative name, but you can get really creative with the recipe. It's very modifiable.
看起来很干净，
对，
但是不知道他们用什么水。你做炸酱面可以一个人1块钱的面，但是上一次我看孩子吃很多面，这是手工面。你吃炸酱面可以是手工面，也可以是，但是不要买很细很细的，切的时候是都要跟这个一样的，是
一样的
小丁的，都需要切，
跟肉末一样。
对，跟肉末差不多一样。红萝卜也是切丁，但是每一个饭是准备的时候要洗切，这个是有一点麻烦。倒油，我觉得肉有一点少，油需要很热，如果是温的不行。需要肉都变了白色。
很香。
菜，差不多。如果是这么多，一半的酱。
所以酱里面有什么？
这个酱里面，有盐，有这个大豆。如果你喜欢重的味道，你可以多放酱。
所以大部分的味道就是那个酱给
酱的，对。你可以不放盐，然后你们吃的时候你觉得盐不够，你可以再放。
真的，
开了，水开以后，需要小火，放一点鸡精。
对。
我觉得再需要一点盐。
You can get ZhaJiangMian 10 different ways in this city alone. And if you cross China, you'll get a bunch more. I don't want to hear in the comments, that's not how my mom made it. Look, I know, okay, but this one's still legit. Question, do we do chili over noodles in the US? Because I think we do. I think I've been to diners where that's an option. It's not something that I have done, but I think it is something that people do. Maybe it's regional. Is there a region of the US where chili goes on top of noodles? I think everything's better with noodles. How do you do chili, street foodies? On noodles or off noodles? Beans, meats, East eats, West meets. Look, I was gonna leave it there, okay? But then my friend Elisa told me there's a Korean version of ZhaJiangMian as well. This show is so multicultural, I can barely keep up, and I'm making it. So you know how Americans adapted Chinese food to their palate and created General Tso's chicken or whatever? I think that's how it happened. There's a documentary. I didn't watch it. Elisa told me that in Korea, they did the same thing with Chinese food. What did you get us?
I got you ZhaJiangMian. I got mi 간짜장, the one with the chunky onions, and then we got a 탕수육, which is like the Korean version of 탕수리지.
Elisa took me to Lower K-Town, not to be confused with the larger K-Town in Xi'an, for some Korean ZhaJiangMian. We got Korean and Chinese.
ZhaJiangMian is like the staple of Korea. It used to be pretty expensive, and so like in the past of Korea, it used to be kind of like a treat that you go get with your family for like a celebration. But now it's become so commonplace and so cheap that everyone just goes to eat it.
We've got raw onion that we dip in this guy, this bean paste. I asked Elisa what are the main differences between Chinese noodles and Korean Chinese noodles.
I think the Chinese one has a lot of different varieties, right? They make it out of different sauces, but Korean one is always made out of chunjang, which is like fermented black soybean paste. It has a lot more sauce versus like the Chinese one where it's a lot of meat that's been like cut up into minced noodles, and it's a little thicker, the sauce, because they put starch into it. I think it tastes different. I can't really explain the flavor. It's not as salty.
The main difference I'm noticing between this one is I can see the onions in yours.
Yeah, so the onions are like just barely cooked. Well, usually, I don't know if it's like a normal thing, but the way that we always mix it was you take your chopsticks in both hands, and you just kind of like bring the noodle from the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can try it too.
Yeah, this is good to know the technique.
And then dig your thing into the middle.
Like this.
And then, yeah.
So we're good.
Yep.
All right. Oh, I see. It's getting in there. We've got these flat chopsticks, which are much more difficult for me. This is just chili pepper, probably? Yeah, this is really good. Korean Chinese noodles and Ben's famous chili combination episode. What? The comparison. DC is fun, chili is good, my daughter's the best. Eat it on the street, friends. Watch out for the parasites. Street food. Season 10. Hit up the comments if you want, if that's how you roll. Some of y'all like to just watch in the wings, not really say anything out in public. And I feel you, the internet can be scary. If you do like it, don't be afraid to just like click that thumbs up. Nobody's gonna come after you and say, hey, on October 7th, did you click a thumbs up on that video? If that happens, then something has seriously gone wrong in my life.